Aaron Keller did his first big interview for 2023 with NME, and he made some interesting promises and comments about the future of Overwatch. Let's have a look. Hey guys, I'm Damesage from the Omnic Post. As part of their slightly outdated communication plan, Team 4 members will occasionally talk to bigger game and tech news outlets in an interview. These are usually aimed at gamers that never played Overwatch before, or those that play it very occasionally. That's why these interviews often are some type of rehash of information that we have known for quite a while. Once in a while, a small tidbit of information that we had not heard before, or that had not been confirmed officially, slips in there. And in the case of this interview, there's even a few of these tidbits of information, which is most likely due to the fact that this is the first interview that they did after the holidays. And let's be honest, they have not been sharing a lot on their own official channels on the last few weeks. Now, let me start out by saying that none of these are real big shockers, but they are very interesting nonetheless. Let's just run over them. The first and most important thing that Aaron stated in this interview is that they are planning to roll out PvE gradually summer later this year, and that they are still finalizing how and when this will happen. First off, it is good news that they confirmed yet again that they plan to roll out PvE in 2023. I, to be honest, was starting to get a little worried. So good news. The fact that it is going to happen gradually is also something that we kinda knew. But again, we haven't heard any updates on their plans with PvE in a really long time. So it's nice to know that that is still the case. And then there's this one line, still finalizing. Look, I'm not going to try and dissect this too much, because I feel a lot of the nuance in this interview was lost in the transcription. For instance, the interviewer referred to PvE as single player content. What? I mean, unless they change the plans at Blizzard, PvE is going to be co-op content, not single-player content. My point being that the poor guy, the interviewer, was not too familiar with Overwatch, which happens. But anyways, let me Sherlock the hell out of this one sentence. If Aaron had said, "We are finalizing," that would have meant that the big decisions were made, that they know where they're going, and that it is about ironing out the details. But when someone says we are still finalizing, it is kind of different. It could mean that they still have some big decisions to make, and that they preferably make them fast. Well, in any case, it's not happening in Season 3. I think we can all agree on that. Now, my most optimistic guess would be around Archives, which is mid-April. The next segment I want to highlight is Aaron Keller admitting that they still have a lot of work to do in addressing the community's feedback regarding the game's reward and progression systems. In other words, they are hearing our feedback, and they realize that their original plan is not going to cut it, which again is good news. Dion Rogers had hinted at some type of discussion going on in an earlier interview, and there was this recent vague tweet about possible changes in Season 3 to the progression system. But in this case, they're outright stating that they still have a lot of work to do on those systems, which is an encouraging sign. Now, Aaron made a really interesting comment tied into this topic. He mentioned that they abandoned the plan to only do one balancing patch every season because they noticed that they needed more balancing patches, which is again good news. I think this game can use more balancing patches. They started out with an idea, they noticed it didn't work, and they fixed it. I mean, guys, they are listening and they are learning. It just takes time, I guess. He also confirmed again that the Roadhog nerf is coming soon, and he elaborated a little bit on the topic. He didn't give any numbers or anything, or what the actual plans are, but he shared on how difficult it is to balance heroes in general, but Roadhog specifically. I mean, sure, on one end there are the numbers and it is easy to nerf him into oblivion, but there's another aspect that I hadn't thought about. It's the player perception. He gave an example with Roadhog versus Orisa. Roadhog is very strong right now, but so is Orisa. Now everybody is up in arms about Roadhog, but a lot less people are kind of upset about Orisa being so strong. It seems that Orisa can get away with being powerful. We as a community are kind of biased on who can be powerful and who can't. It is an interesting side effect of creating these personalities. Their public perception will work for or against them. This is an interesting topic to talk and think about. Well, not right now. Now, while we're talking about heroes, Aaron also confirmed again that both the Season 4 and Season 6 heroes are going to be supports. And he added that they bring some things to the game that we haven't seen before. Some new mechanics and really exciting ways of interacting with your own team. It is exciting to hear it confirmed again that we're getting more supports. I personally play a lot of support, and I actually made a video a few months ago outlining the issues why people do not like or why so few people play support. And one of them was that the support heroes just aren't fun. One, there's too few choices, and two, the mechanics or the other classes are often just a lot more interesting. But apparently that is going to change. Now, I do wonder what these mechanics could be. Support is more than just healing, sure. But with all the current heroes, healing is part of the job, or it should be. Moira. And exciting new ways of interacting with your team. Are you going to send them an email? Maybe a snap? Are you guys going to do karaoke? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in Season 4. Something else we'll be getting more of are game modes. And not only can we expect new game modes, including that big mysterious one that they have been teasing us with for the last 3 years, but Aaron also talked about the return of some old game modes. What? Is 2CP coming back? It most likely would be done differently, but really? To be honest, I can't think of another mode that would be coming back. And I do miss some of these maps. Yeah. And how about events? I mean, the current Lunar New Year might have been a bit of a dud, but we did get a brand new event this season, the Battle for Olympus. And there were a lot of people that enjoyed that event. But Aaron promised that there were going to be a lot more of these events this year. Guys, not more, a lot more. Look, if someone asks you if you want more water, they're just being nice, they're being friendly. They want you to stay hydrated. If they ask you if you want a lot more water, they're either trying to drown you or they're selling you a swimming pool. So basically, we're getting a lot of events. Valentine, Easter, a Damesies event. No? Okay. Now the final part of the interview that I want to highlight is Aaron stating that he thinks that the community will be going wild for the Season 3 Mythic skin. Yeah, a game director that tells us that the Season 3 Mythic skin is kind of okay. It's nice. Is very bad marketing, so excuse me when I take this with a grain of salt. And like someone commented on one of my TikToks, remember when Jeff Kaplan promised us a skin for Diva that was going to break the internet? And it turned out to be the schoolgirl Diva skin? Yeah, it is a very valid point. But we'll see. I am totally open to going wild about the skin. And Season 3 is just a few weeks away, so that trailer could drop soon. Well, Blizzard soon. So I'll give it a few weeks. Now tell me, what did you get most excited about in this interview? And would you by any chance be interested in buying a swimming pool? Let me know in the comments. Join me during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesiesTV and make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch.